Handy Andy back at it with another one, folks. We're looking at the Aventon Aventure2 e-bike. This is an electric e-bike that is designed for off-road terrain like mountains. So it's pretty much a mountain bike that's electric. In this review, we're going to start at the unboxing. We're going to take it right out of the box. Believe it or not, you get a bike in a box these days, but it does require some minor assembly. We'll tell you all the tools and accessories that it comes with. And then I'll be testing it out in my backyard once it's fully installed before I make my way out to the trails to give it a real test and see if it's a really good e-bike. So is this something worth considering? 750 watt battery. It goes really fast and it's very comfortable to ride. So sit back, relax, cue in the intro. So let's start at the unboxing. I want to make sure that you can see exactly what you get when you are purchasing this bike. Now, there's something really interesting that I noticed when I was taking this apart. Everything is made out of cardboard. Even like that's not zip ties. They're like this, it's almost like a paper twang. So everything there is organic, so you can throw it in your organic bin. And that was something I really like. I hope other manufacturers do that in the future. Here's everything that you get outside of the box. You do get a box of tools and accessories, and that's what you're looking at right there, including the battery charger, the pedals, a wrench, hex key, and also some grease that you're going to put on the pedals. And of course, you got some spare parts and reflectors, in addition to the user manual, which I highly recommend that you read. And it does even come with stickers if you want to wrap the Aventon brand. And those are just little pieces that go in the back for the back rack. So another thing you'll notice is that it doesn't come with the tire on. The tire is separate. That's to get everything inside that box. So you do have to install it. If you have a second person there, that will be very helpful to get that tire on. I did run into a little issues, but then also putting on the fenders and stuff, super easy, just a couple of screws. The screws are included. It has a QR code on the box for a manual, so you want to make sure that you look at that manual. And there you can see the forks and also where the handlebars go on. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. Kind of ran into some issues there. There's the back rack that also needs to be installed slightly. And of course, you got to put the pedals on to get this bike up and running. Now, here's where I kind of ran into issues. Look at this handlebar. Everything's on backwards. I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. At this time, I was like, did somebody at the shop when they were putting it together at the factory install everything on backwards? I could not figure out what was going on. It was driving me nuts. I thought I had to take everything off and turn it around. And then it occurred to me, maybe the handlebars are on backwards, because the way that the handlebars can attach onto the frame, it can go either way. So just by chance, I did it this way and continued, and only later realized that everything was on backwards. So I had to take it all apart and then fix it. So here it is, completely installed. It doesn't take that long to install, but what you'll notice is that you see the Aventure on the side, on the back there, with Aventon in the middle. On the front, you do have that color LCD display. This goes a maximum of 32 kilometers, 750 watt battery inside that frame. Has a bike rack so you can store it and use it as a commuter. Also has integrated tail lights. We'll talk about that in a bit. You can see that it has fenders on both sides for that 4-inch fat tire with that front suspension. And inside here is a key. That key opens up the battery. The 750 watt motor is powered by this battery, and there's the battery charging right there. So you can charge it at the bike, or you can take the battery out, and I'll show you how to do that. You basically grab the key, twist it over, then the battery comes out. It's a hefty battery. This bike is heavy at 77 pounds, and a lot of that is that big battery to power that 750 watt motor that's inside of this bike. And boy, does it go. I'll talk about that in just a bit. But super easy. That's the button that basically gets everything started. It's kind of translucent, so you can see the colors. And when you press the brakes, you'll notice that it has brake lights. So that's integrated on both sides. I really like that, because if you're using this on the streets or on, say, bike lanes, even at nighttime, you're going to be visible because it also has that headlamp as well. So before I hit the road, I wanted just to test it out, make sure everything was working well, kind of get accustomed to it in my backyard. Plus, it's easier to film back here, and you can actually see me riding it. Now, of course, this has pedal assist and a throttle. There's different levels of pedal assist, and I'll show you that later when I get to the trails. But right now, I'm just testing the suspension, getting comfortable with the bike. That seat, I had to drop the seat really low because this is the large version. There's two different versions of this bike. This is a large version. Look how low that seat is for me, and I'm about 5'9". So that's an interesting thing to note if you're in this to get this bike, is taking into account your height on which model to get. But I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable by riding this, so I'm like, you know what, let's take it out in the trails. Like I said, it has different modes for the pedal assist on there, and everything is on that color LCD display. So I'm just toggling through. There's turbo, and then you can go down to like eco, there's tour, and also a sport mode. So get really accustomed to jumping through the different levels of pedal assist, especially if you're taking these on the trails. Another thing I just noticed here, I'm like, oh, it's actually got lights for going left and right. So I checked them out. Perfect. It operates very, very similar to a vehicle. When you have a vehicle, you're on the roads, you can use your signals to let people know if you're going left or right. And you can do that with this bike. Another great safety feature, another reason why you could use it as a city bike when you're not on the trails. You'll see there's that throttle just onto the side of that control panel right there. And over here, I was just kind of toggling through. I wanted to see all the different kind of functions. It tells you like lots of different data, your average speed, your max speed, also how much CO2 and trees you saved. I don't know if that'll make you feel better. I don't know how they get that kind of data, but I like having data after you do trips. You can see the distance that you traveled. Now was the fun part, using it in the trails. I gotta tell you, it was fun. I felt like a kid again, but what was very different is when you have to climb hills, that pedal assist and also the throttle make this so easy. You don't even break a sweat mountain biking. And that's the great thing about having an electric mountain bike. The 750 watt motor is super powerful. Boy, this thing can accelerate, hit that top speed of 32 kilometers. And I think it goes something like 90 kilometers with the pedal assist as well in terms of the distance. So, you know, the battery is what really makes this special. And again, you can take it off, and here I'm going to charge it for the first time. What you'll notice is that it changes color. Now it's red on the battery bank there, charger bank, because once it's fully charged, it's going to go green. So it kind of gives you an indication just by the color to let you know when it's charged. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Aventon Adventure 2 fat tire, 4-inch fat tires on an electric bike. This is a whole load of fun. Plus, it comes with that rack. You could use it to carry stuff wherever you go. You got your traditional brakes and disc systems. You can just use it as a standard bike if you don't want to use the pedal assist, and all that data goes on that LCD display. And there's all your controls on the left side, including throttle when you don't feel like pedaling. You can just motor around and shift gears to your liking. I'm Andy Baryer, Handy Andy, signing out. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of this bike.